Well, we've hit the dirt. The bees are back in the bee house here robbing stuff. I didn't think there's anything left after the robbing this spring, but they're finding some stuff. Just started feeding. I got open feeding going on out there, and I'll start putting some in some of the colonies here pretty quick too. But what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to protect all this. These empty boxes are full of drawn comb, and it's wax moth season. They're going to get in here and they're going to start destroying it. Well, I don't have a sealed, secured building like a storage container or something that I can seal up and gas the whole thing, but I need to protect this stuff. You all know how valuable drawn comb is, so I've invested in all this equipment. I need to protect this investment. I bought this shed to protect the woodenware, and now I need to protect the drawn comb. So what I'm doing is I'm putting 55-gallon drum liner bags inside of the colony, inside of the box. So we get a lot of moisture here too, enough that any pollen and stuff that's in these will start to mold and draw moisture and mold bad. So we're about as dry as we're going to get right now, so this is a good time to seal them in here. So I put the bag in the bottom, and this is what they are that I'm using. They're a little bigger than the contractor's bags, which I'd rather have because they're heavier duty, but that's all right. And then I'm eventually putting paramoth in it. So I found if you line the bag up with the crease crossways on the box, that they fit in there better. So I'll put a bunch of frames in this bottom, then I'll pull the bag in, put the top box on, pull the bag up and load it too, so I can get double deeps in here. And then I put the paramoth on the top, seal it up, and it should be good for the winter. There's a whole lot of this I'm not going to need this year, but I don't want to lose it for next year. So anyway, we'll get rolling on the project here, and I'll get you clips as I can. So here we are. We've got 10 frames in. Sometimes they're a little sticky. I'm gonna make sure the bag stays pulled crossways. It's not real thick stuff, so I'll bunch that in. Then we'll put another deep on it, pull it up through, and do it again. So there we go. I got double deeps. I've got 20 frames in here. Some of them I struggled in the bottom to get all 10. So then I put a little piece of plastic on here and put the chunk of paramoth on it, and we'll seal it up. The paramoth is forms a gas that's heavier than air, and it will fill that area up. Can't see the camera real well, but we'll fill that area up right there, and it won't kill eggs, but it'll kill every other form of wax moth. So larvae, the moth itself, will also repel them, so they're not going to try to get in the bag, even if it does get a little hole where they could try to get in. The smell of that's going to stop them. So I just get as much of the air out of it as I can. Hey, that didn't work so good. Hope none of you got seasick through that. All right, then I just twist it up, zip tie it, now I'll put my propolis traps that I run on the top of it so that it stays in there with it. I'll have it next year when I get started. Then the lid goes on. I'm screwing them down. That way I know what's in there. I'm not running them screwed down in my apiary. It's just a pain in the butt. And I'm probably switching to different lids anyway. But this way I know that these are all sealed up, and I don't want to dig in here looking for something if I need some more frames. Anyway, that's what we're doing to try to protect our investment. So for any of you that don't know, this is what wax moth larva looks like. It's just a little worm with a red head. I haven't seen any moths in here to try to get a picture of. They're hard to see, or hard to get to slow down enough to get a picture of. They're really fast. So where you'll find them, little spots like this with just a little dab of webbing, and there will be a wax moth inside there. One or two don't do a lot of damage, but when you get an infestation, they can destroy the comb, and that's their job. In nature, that's the purpose of them. They go into a colony that I don't know if you guys could see through all that dirt. They go into a colony in the wild that's been vacated, and they clean it up. They eat the old wax down and break it down, so when the bees come in, they can start fresh with new comb. And that's fine. That's what nature set them up to do. I just don't want them doing it in my boxes. So you usually don't have problems with them in a strong colony. The bees will take care of them. I found one large wax moth above my propolis traps. The bees had pushed him up out of there, and he couldn't get back in because they were attacking him. So they'll usually keep them cleaned out if they're a strong colony. But if you've got a bunch of empty frames in there they haven't gotten to, that the bees aren't patrolling, they can get in there and destroy it. So anyway, just something to keep an eye on. You can kill them putting them in the freezer. So if they go in the freezer 24 hours, it'll kill eggs and larvae, if you just got some showing up on one or two frames. And then this paramoth is for storing them over long periods of time. Well, it sounds like Misty's got a bee problem, so I better get back to Misty.